Always, always, always. Hey, yo, what's up, Debt Wolf? What's up? All right, man. Let's make this money. I'm glad I removed that short. Shit. I had the same thing happen to me last night right here. Ironically, happened in the same area. It missed my target buy, or it missed my limit order to go short. By 10 points. We see the market bounce from this this 15-minute imbalance here. I should have been paying attention to this. Well, actually, I wasn't even in front of my chart when this happened. We have another 15-minute imbalance right here. Okay. So it looks like the market is, I mean, if we can see a pullback, I wouldn't actually mind buying in this, somewhere in this area, maybe somewhere closer to this range down here. We'll see what happens here. Let's see what happens. All right, so let's see. Okay. I mean, I doubt that the market comes all the way back here, but right now, this is the best option for right now. The origin of that move for that breakout pullback trade is the best option right now. So I'll leave my limit order there until we get the orb, until the orb officially forms, and then I'll readjust from there. Yeah, I forgot about that. $62. This is why we never chase a breakout. This is a great example of just waiting for the pullback. Don't ever chase that breakout because you'll just become liquidity if you do. 1250. Okay. All right, so let's see what happens. Again, I'm waiting on the pullback at the origin of this move for a potential retest of this structure right here. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, that was suck. Honestly, I wonder how I should be interpreting this, because this can be interpreted in many ways here. I'm going to delete yesterday's orb. I'm pretty sure this order block right here doesn't necessarily, so I'm gonna delete this order block as well, because they kind of ran through that. We have two 15-minute imbalances that hasn't been tested yet. We saw that rejection from the 50% of this imbalance right here. The market was rejecting from this 15-minute imbalance right here. So this is where we're seeing the market react. And it looks like the market kind of double tapped this area so far. Okay. So this is where we're seeing the reaction. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what that is. Okay. All right, what that was for. Nice. All right. So I wonder if I'm looking at this wrong again. I wonder if I'm looking at this wrong. Because obviously the market is trying to short. The market break structure here. We got the failed rejection. The stops get ran. I believe this was because of news, if I'm not mistaken. I think some data came out this morning. Today's Thursday. All right, so what jobless claims came out this morning? Oh, PCE came out this morning. Okay. GDP came out this morning. Okay, so that makes sense. And we have, it looks like, do we what? No, that's about it. Okay. Looks like we have some new home sales that are coming up in the next 20 minutes at 9 o'clock. We have Fed Museum speaking. And that's about it. Looks like we just have some Fed speakers on Friday. But when it's inflationary data, I don't believe the market is we're gonna see a real reaction from the market, because it's already expected that this new Fed chair that's coming in at the next meeting will be lowering rates. So regardless of what data points are coming out, he's expected to lower rates this upcoming FOMC meeting, which I believe it's what, June 17th, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, it's pretty much expected that he should at least be lowering the rate by 25 basis points. So all right, so we're seeing the move down. We're seeing a really big rejection. That's a lot of volume in that candle. I wonder. No, that would hurt my feelings. But definitely not gonna. So far, we're just getting mixed data. Man, this is a tough one. We're seeing price reject from what could be considered supply. We're seeing a lot of volume in this candle. I'm trying to trade a pullback. Okay. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of volume. That was a lot of sell volume in that candle right there. Hold on, what is it? What is these yellow lines? Okay. What is this? Okay. I normalize shutting that shit off. Oh shit. Thanks. So the orb is officially formed here. Yeah, glad I wasn't even paying attention to it. I was actually looking at my tick chart. I appreciate that, Dead Wolf. And that's all right, so that's the range right there. Interesting. I don't have one for the opening range. Yeah, could be. This is a potential sweep of this orb low. Hmm. And you know, honestly, when the market makes moves in the pre-market, it usually takes away from the New York's or the New York Open. This is why I kind of hate when the market does this overnight. Okay. So let's see if we're going to get filled here. I think we should get filled. We should. Or I would really enjoy getting into this position and then the position working. I don't need y'all to start buying Tesla app. Okay, let's fill the order first before we start buying. That will be lovely. Okay, we're filled. We're filled. All right, now y'all guys can start buying. Okay. Now y'all guys can start buying. There we go, baby. Now you can start buying. Now we can start buying. There we go. Start buying. Start buying this shit. Shit, we're not out of the woods yet, Debt Wolf. They're buying, but will it be enough? We're not out of this yet until we get that profit target filled. I appreciate that. I mean, dude, it's from what I've found. If you find a range, the market is either going to go to the top, middle, or their bottom. That's just how I've simplified my trading. I usually put my limit order at the bottom of the range, or a couple of ticks before the bottom of the range, because I find that even if it touches the top of the range, sometimes it still comes to the bottom of the range. We'll still see the move, but like I said, like yesterday, it touched the top of that range, and it went without me. And then when it came back, and it tagged the bottom of that range, well, y'all guys saw what happened. Okay. And this is why that break and pullback trade is so powerful. The break and pullback trade is so simple. Anybody can do the break and pullback. You find your range, you see the break, you trade the pullback, and you can just get easy winners. But we're not out of this yet. We're not out of this yet. We're up. But we're not out of this yet. Hey, yo, what's up, Alfred? Mm, always. I hate it. I mean, I figured that this was going to be a problem. That stupid 50 EMA. Ah, man. All right. Well, we'll see what happens here. I had a feeling that was going to be a problem. Actually, let me see something. Let me see something, man, because I made some adjustments, and I don't know if my greed is going to. It's not greed. Not greed. I just made some adjustments with my profit target. Man, that sucks. As long as we can get above these EMAs, I mean, honestly, I'll be leaving money on the table because we can probably go back until this imbalance right here. But I have base hits. I'm just going to take my base hits. I'm not going to get cute with this. But once we get above those EMAs, this thing is going to shoot higher. If we get above these damn EMAs, I guess I should say that. Okay. So I'll just watch the trade and I guess move forward from there, I guess. Of course, the NQ wants to be nasty to me here. I don't feel the market's going to come back and stop me out, but she's definitely going to make me wait to hit this. Come on, baby. Hit that target, baby. Mm. I know, right? You know, honestly, I doubt that. Bears don't get 2 days in a row. Bears don't get 2 days in a row. That gap still does need to be filled, though. Well, it doesn't need to be filled, but that's still an objective for the Bears. Okay. Now, if I was heavy in this would kind of be torturous. It's so close to glory. There we go, baby. There we go. Let me hit, baby. Let me hit. That's what I'm talking about. Great fucking trade. But I already know this thing is going to probably run now. This thing's going to run. All right, so we got a SPY breakout. Appreciate that, Dead Wolf. Appreciate that, man. So, I mean, this was a simple break and pullback trade, guys. Simple. Break, pullback for an easy winner. So I'm gonna lock this account up. So I copy traded this account with another account. So I'm up $1,000 this morning. I'm up $1,000 in this trade. And moving forward, I think that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start scaling out. I'm gonna start getting, start copy trading. Trading 3 micros across accounts. Start scaling this. Get comfortable with that. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So yeah, I had another account following this account right here. Oh yeah, I can't even see that. So it took out that loss that we took yesterday. Took a $170 loss from yesterday. We got that back 3 times. I think that's what, a 3.5 R almost, maybe. Yeah, so it's like 3.5 R. So I was able to take out that loss and was able to take out that loss. And this is why it's so powerful to have at least a 1 to 2 R when you trade, because you can have a bad day, you can stop, and then the next day you're positive. So this power having paying attention to your R's. What I'll do here, so I'm going to lock out this account. I'm not going to trade all of my funded accounts because obviously I'm euphoric because that trade went to completion. It was a really great trade. We bottom ticked it and we got a profit target. So I already know that right now I'm euphoric. So I'm not going to cycle through all 3 of my accounts. And over the weekend, what I plan on doing is actually creating like a cycle. Like how I kind of envision me implementing this plan is I'm going to focus on one account. As long as I win in that account, every day if I win in that account, I'll trade it the next day. And if I take a loss in that account, then I'll cycle to the next account. And if I take a win in that account, I'll lock out, or I guess I'll lock, well, I guess how I envision this, I'll only have two funded accounts unlocked at one time and have that third one locked at all times. So one is always going to be locked, and two is I'll at least trade two. And if I win on the first one, then I'll take the trade on the next one and lock out the third one. And if I take a loss on the first account, I'll cycle to the first account, I'll cycle to the second account because the first account will already be locked, and then I can just trade the remaining two. And then that spreads my risk out. It allows me to focus on the winning account, but then when I take a loss, I'll just go to the next account and start building that account. And then once we kind of get a cycle, once I get my 5-day cycle in that account, then I'll just go to the next account. I know that was confusing. I don't know if that may have been confusing for you guys. It's kind of in my head. I haven't really put it on paper yet, but I think that's what I'm going to start doing with these funded accounts moving forward. And so I always have a payout, or I always have like an account that's close to like goal, and all it needs is like maybe just one more day or the bare minimum to get the payout, and then we can get more payouts like that, have these accounts pay us. But yo, congratulations on that, Santiago. Santiago said he caught that short from the top. Yeah, this was a great area to short. I'm just glad I moved my I'm just glad I learned from last night and moved this, because my feelings would have been hurt right there. My feelings would have been hurt. Interesting. Oh wow, that's a big gap. That's like 15 points. Okay. 63.25. So 65.23 is the low of the session. Right now, the high of this leg is 112.50. We can potentially see the. I mean, I wouldn't want to get short. We're coming up to the 50% of that orb. You said it was a 50 and it swept the pre-market high. Where was your 50 at, Santiago? Or hold on, would you mind sending a screenshot of it, if you don't mind? Oh, okay? You took it on the ES. Okay. Are you focusing more now on the ES? Is that the accumulation, manipulation, distribution? Is that what that is? And if so, I mean, that's basically the break and pull, the breakout pullback strategy, but just rebranded as AMD. But yes, this is the 920 candle, because that's basically the breakout pullback trade. Okay, so that's the ES, that's the candle. Nice. Wow. Okay, nice. Or hold on. So hold on. So that's the 829 candle. We did see, yeah, we saw from, if you got in at the 50% of that candle, 36, it goes down 6 points. You say you've been implementing it into your strategy a lot? Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly the reason why we took that trade this morning. And I kind of figured that we was going to see the market kind of continue. I could have let my profit target run, but like I said, in my funded accounts, I only take base hits. If this was my eval, I probably would have played around with it a little bit, but I only take base hits because we get so. You're in chops, so we're waiting. And Alfred, hold on. Are you talking? Did you take this trade right here, or are you talking about this accumulation right here, and then the distribution? You took a short above the 50% of the orb. Let me look on the 15-minute real quick and see where the EMAs are. Oh, the accumulation before the open? Okay. And this is why I trade on tick charts, because I mean, if you become comfortable trading on a tick chart, you'll see I mean, if you're a volume-based trader, then I would have to ask, why do you trade on a time-based chart when tick charts are literally volume-based candles? And you see the accumulation, you see the structure, and that's why we took this pullback into this trade, because of this accumulation right here. This is the origin of the move where the market breaks structure. So I drew out a range, it tapped into the area, and we're seeing the market react. This is why I will always have a tick chart on the side off stream, but so let's see what it does here. Let's see. We are at the 50% of the range. If I was short here, the only thing that I don't like about this, okay, the Nasdaq, my God, Nasdaq. I knew this would happen. I knew it would happen. I know I was, but I knew this would happen. So this, well, I'm not talking about this. I'm just talking about me taking profits, and I knew it was going to do this. Knew it was going to do that. So before the Nasdaq interrupted me, the only reason why I didn't like a short here at the 50% of the orb was because we have the EMAs below price. With years, or I guess let me say it like this, as a professional trend fighter, the EMAs have been the haymaker that has killed my accounts, killed my position. And I've just come to accept that if price is underneath or if price is above the EMAs, don't fight against it. Don't fight against it. God damn. God. Well, it looks like we're back in business. We're back in business. We're back in business. I told you, bears don't get 2 days in a row. Bears don't, I mean, shit, bears didn't even get yesterday. We just didn't have buyers step up and buy. Buyers weren't interested. They took their profits and they wanted to get lower prices to get right back into this. Bears just what bulls weren't interested. All right, so we do have an orb break. The question is, will the 50% of the orb now be a hot spot for longs? Because anybody that was short here and is still in this, they're hoping and praying for the market to come back to their entry. We are seeing the market, we're seeing a slight rejection at the top, or in this case, well, I guess that's still the top of that 15-minute that bearish 15-minute imbalance. Excuse me. So we're seeing the rejection. We're seeing the bears step up. We already know if they're going to be successful or not. We know that. He said this is news. Said the U.S. Iran reach a deal but needs Trump's final approval. Shit, at this point. 332. Needs Trump's final approval. Will Trump give the final approval? Will he? I mean, a lot of people's been making a lot of money off of this military operation. A lot of people's been making a lot of money from this military operation. Does it stop? Do you stop the money flow? Do you stop the manipulation? I mean, in order for one thing to end, something else has to begin, right? I know, right? It's supposed to be like Congress or something, like a body of individuals of sound mind and body. That's the ideal. We've seen the pictures of the members of Congress, and we all see that they're just there. They're just there. Maybe at one point in time in history, it actually meant something, but we all know that nowadays that shit don't mean nothing. Everybody there has strings attached to them somehow, some way. It means nothing. 2025. So US and Iran reach agreement on 60-day MOU to extend truce Axios. Is that a memorandum of understanding? I wonder, is that a memorandum of understanding? Let's look at that. All right, so yeah, a memorandum of understanding. A memorandum of understanding is a formal document outlining the mutual understanding and intended actions of two or more parties. It is often used in the early stages of a negotiation to clarify goals and expectations, to define the scope of cooperation, and establish confidentiality and dispute resolution procedures. Okay, there we go. Appreciate that, Alfred. And so stuff like that does make sense. We do have old people that, unfortunately, unless there is technology that does extend human, well, I mean, I feel okay. So this is how I feel about that. Immortality, like if people want to live forever, if you're living forever but your body supposedly deteriorates over time, would you want to live like that forever? Now, if your form can stay vibrant, youthful, mobile, because it would suck if you have immortality but you're not indestructible. That would suck, right? You would have to live the rest of your life, if, God forbid, if something happened to any members of your form. You lose a hand, an eyeball, you lose an ear, something gets removed and you got to live with that forever. So immortality combined with being indestructible is a great combination. I would just hate to be, what if you lose something very important, and a very important body part, and you have to live with that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, no. I'll go wait back in the lobby at that point. But yeah, we've seen the pictures of these members of Senate and Congress. They're just people, they're just there. They're just there. But anyway. All right, so we are seeing that rejection from the top of this bearish 15-minute imbalance. I wonder if the market is going to continue to push higher here. Sneakily, the Nasdaq did bounce at that orb high. That was sneaky. It tapped that orb high right there. So we got the break from the middle of the range. It tapped that orb. It does look like it's going to fail back into this range, though. It does look like we'll see a failure back into this range. I'm willing to buy inside of this range. So I'm going to buy, obviously, breakout. This is your distribution. Or I'm sorry. This is your accumulation. I don't necessarily see the manipulation. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say that because that's just too damn much. I look for a range, a breakout, and a pullback. What is that? The RBP trade. Shit. The RBP. Range, breakout, pullback. Simple. 83.7. This is your range. That's the breakout. I mean, I doubt that the market comes back down all the way down here. I doubt the market comes all the way back down here, but I'm just going to follow the rules here. So there's your range. Let's see if the market, let's see. You said this will be manipulation right here. Interesting. I wonder why this would be the because, well, honestly, if this candle higher would be the manipulation, that would be very confusing to me because this is the move that people want to be a part of. I guess I figure, so when I hear the accumulation, I'm looking at that as the range. And this is just me. I don't really, anyway, this will be the accumulation, the sweep of the liquidity or a false breakout. I would consider that manipulation to get people short. And then this would be the distribution right here. That's how I thought this was. But if this leg is the manipulation, that's interesting. Because I mean, that's just the breakout. and just wait for the pullback. So this is what I'm going to do here. This is what I'm going to do. Never mind. I was going to say, if I see a pin bar closing back above that 21 EMA, but then I realized this is the 1 minute chart. This is not the 15-minute chart. That's why I said never mind. The 15-minute chart, I got my limit order literally right there at the 21 EMA on the 15-minute chart. That's where I'm going to take the trade. I think that orb, if the EMAs were closer to that orb on the 15-minute chart, I would actually consider taking the orb, the 50% of the orb. But because the EMAs are all the way down here at the origin, I'm going to trade here. This is where I'm gonna participate. I mean, if it does go higher, then I'll just readjust. But for right now, this is where I'm gonna participate at until something changes. It looks like this 15-minute bearish imbalance is so it looks like we did see the buy stops. They did sweep these stops, and then they just tumbled over. Okay, I'm gonna just delete this because this is no longer you don't no longer need that. Okay. All right, so let's see what they do here. I guess I'll look into that strategy. I'll look into it. Or, I mean, I'm not going to use it, but I'll definitely look into it so I can kind of better understand it, though. Yeah, I mean, win or lose. I think I'm going to probably readjust my strategy for the bigger accounts. I think with this smaller account, what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave the limit order at the bottom of the range. But on the bigger accounts, on these 150Ks, I'm going to start at the middle of the range and then scale in at the bottom of the range. It's going to be, obviously, it's going to increase the amount of money that I'm putting on for risk. I think it increases it. I think I'll be risking 215, maybe 200 which isn't bad. $215 isn't bad, but I'll be risking $215 if I do it that way, I believe. Yeah, I'll be risking about $216 if I do that. And it's going to be like a 10-point rule. Like if it's like 10 points, I'll get into the position and then scale in at 10 points. But then I'm gonna still keep my 27 point stop. $252. So $252. I lose $252 per trade. If I'm wrong, that kind of does skew my risk to reward a little bit though. Because if I'm wrong, my risk to reward will go down from a 3.5 R to about like a 2.5 R. I lose 1 R. But if it hits that initial entry and then it hits my scale in, obviously I make more money. But I'm gonna just have to kind of, because I hate the fact that that yesterday I got missed last night twice, and then I got missed this morning, and that kind of hurt my feelings. 2 easy winners that just slipped through my hands because it missed me. So yeah, I think I'll just probably do the middle and the bottom of the range for the bigger accounts, and then for the smaller accounts, I'll keep it at the bottom of the range. And then I'll take the trade in multiple accounts so it doesn't feel like I missed something. But I guess I should have taken this trade right here because it just shot up 100 freaking points on the 1 minute. Don't you just hate when the EMAs on the 1 minute works? Don't you just hate that shit when it works? But then you take a 1 minute trade and then it doesn't work when you don't take it. Or when you actually do. Okay. Well, that would have been a great trade right there. That was like about like 100 points from entry. It bounced at the bottom of this 15-minute imbalance here. It literally bounced at the bottom of it. And now it's retesting the highs. So we'll see. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I could have taken it on this account. Look at that 15-minute imbalance from, what is it, May 26th, so Tuesday. We have an imbalance from Tuesday still influencing the market. Still influencing the market. The market is basically rotating back and forth around this imbalance. I don't think that. Yo, congratulations on that, Investor Z. Glad to see you are making money this morning. Glad to see you're making money this morning, man. Looks like there's another 15-minute imbalance right here. Hmm. Not gonna lie, that looks very tempting and short. That looks very tempting to take a short there. And that looks very tempting. The market is saying short me. Short me. You know you want to. Take that short. It's not gonna hurt. Remember that push down we got yesterday? Don't you want to be a part of the next move down? Don't you want to be a part of that? Take the short. Mm. Yep. I ain't shorting this market, man. I'm not shorting this market. I don't ever recall calling myself a perma bear. I don't recall calling myself a perma bear. I'm a bear at heart. I'm a bear at heart. It's like being a fan of a losing team. It's like your favorite team just continuously disappoints you with their performance. You just want you want to be loyal. You don't want to jump to the next team or have a secondary team. You just want your team to just do what they need to do, and that's win and perform. And unfortunately, Team Bear, they underperform all the time. Unfortunately. Chicago Bears. The Nasdaq Bears. There you go. The Nasdaq Bears. They continuously get clapped by the Nasdaq Bulls. But you're a fan of the Nasdaq Bears and they just keep getting clapped. And then you got to tolerate the disrespect. Hmm. Nine. Hmm. Looks like this is our slowdown. This is a slowdown right here. It's where the market's not doing anything. The irony is, in order for my profit target to get filled here, the market has to come down. And let's look at the ES. Let's look at the ES. You know what? You know what I haven't looked at yet? I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised. Looks like gold did the same thing. Looks like ES is coming down. Should we take an ES trade? An ES trade. ES trade. An ES trade. ES does have a lot of opportunities that do present itself. I just have to be patient for them. I'm pretty sure people would appreciate, everybody would appreciate ES trade. If that 15-minute short-term EMA gets closer to the middle of the 15-minute orb, I'll readjust my entry here. I highly doubt that the market is going to come all the way back down like that, but if it does, honestly, I don't even know what happened. It's kind of stupid. I bet it is. I bet it is. I bet it is being patient for me to short this thing. That's not right. That's not right. 757. Oh wow, I guess it is right. The ES is going down, the Nasdaq is going up. Interesting. There's no way. There's no way. I think if we want to find another trading opportunity, it'll probably be on the ES if I'm going to be completely honest. It's going to be on the ES. Actually, no it won't. I forgot. Never mind. No it won't. Oh. Never mind. Forget I said anything about the ES. I forgot. I have the risk. Oh shit, look at that. I have the risk too much money on the ES. Not to make money. Never mind. I don't want to deal with that. Never mind. I want to though. I want to. But no. I mean, I know there's a pattern to it, but I mean, come on. Mm. Mm. Shit, looking at book map right now. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we see. I mean, we see why the market is being held up right now. The bears are just being super aggressive, protecting those highs right there. They're protecting the highs of that 15-minute bearish imbalance. But you can just obviously see that with the depth of market that the bulls are just super buying this thing. The bulls are definitely in control here. That's a lot of buying pressure from the bulls. And it looks like a stop run is inevitable here. I mean, if you're short this, I know it's stressful. I know it's stressful, but this is what it looks like on Bookmap. You don't necessarily have a lot of momentum from the bears here. Am I looking for another trade? If an opportunity presents itself, I will open a position. But I think I don't believe a position or I don't think it pulls back. I mean, it can. This is the Nasdaq. Things can happen in a second. If it pulls back to my entry, that's where I will participate at. But if not, I'm gonna lock up shop. I'm gonna lock out this account. Again, I don't trade any of my funded accounts on Fridays. I only trade my evals on Friday. Yeah, it's definitely chopping. It definitely is. I feel that the only way for the bears to be successful is for whatever reason this trend line that we're seeing right here, if they can tap into this trend line liquidity and we can see that move to the downside, that's the only way I see the bears being successful here, but that's highly unlikely. What's more likely to happen is you have all that's your bearish block. The bears are fighting hard to protect this area. You have all this buying aggression. The only thing for it to do is to push past all these stops, absorb all these buyers, these sellers, and we could see a squeeze here. I think that's more likely to happen. If we see a squeeze, I'm willing to trade the pullback. The squeeze, the breakout, the pullback into the area, I'm willing to trade that. No, I'm not short nothing. Well, that news would definitely. At this point, they're making so much money manipulating this market. I highly doubt that this will ever stop. They're making so much money. Iran now has they've already charged a toll. I'm pretty sure they're going to continue to charge that toll after this conflict is over, if it comes to an end. It took 20 years. And then right after the one that took 20 years, we started up a new one. So it's stuff like this. There's just too much money to be made. I mean, isn't it a coincidence though that as the market is struggling to short at this area of supply, quote unquote, what could be considered bearish news hits the tape in order to try to get investors to sell out of their positions? Isn't that interesting? Now, if Trump comes up and tweets that, then yeah, that it'll probably short for sure. It'll probably short if Trump says it. I'm pretty sure all the short sellers at this level is hitting up Trump like, please, man, just say something, please. Say something, anything. Say it. And then we'll get that Trump dump. Get bought right back up. Okay. All right, so do we finally see the breakout from this high? All right, looks like we're gonna break out that. We're gonna break out from that high. That's what it looks like, right? But we also got to remember that momentum is a variable, is an additional variable that's very unique to the Nasdaq. It does use fake momentum to fish for liquidity. Right now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are buying this, and I'm not saying that buying it is wrong, but if the market doesn't necessarily want to break out here, a lot of buyers are seeing the momentum of this candle. They're piling into this thing. Let's look at ES. ES don't necessarily lie about its price action. I mean, ES did sweep this high. ES don't sweep highs and then break out from them. That's uncharacteristic of the ES. It doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. That would just be uncharacteristic of the ES to create a double top, to form a double top, swipe the liquidity, make that move lower, and then just break out. It happens, but it usually doesn't when the market is trending. So
connection lost.
You said on the ES 75.67 is your 50 on the ES. 75.67. Let me go down to a smaller time frame and see if I can actually see the same thing you're seeing. All right, so see a range right here. The 15-minute was too big. Let me see if I can find it on a 5-minute. Okay, let me see if I can see it on the 10-minute. Oh, they don't got the 10-minute on Top Step X. Okay. I think I already have it drawn, or at least I should. Yeah, I do have it drawn. Or at least I thought I did. Is that the 8? Oh, okay. It's like, I know I drew it. Yeah, that is the 829 candle. We did see the breakout from that candle on the ES. That does look like a bull flag. Does look like a bull flag. See if I can draw that a little bit better. Okay. So yeah, it looks like we are seeing the breakout from the highs on the Nasdaq. We're seeing the breakout. All right, let's see what happens here. Here's the breakout. Hmm. Hmm. Man, is it a possibility? Hmm. All right, let's see. Hopefully, Alfred, you didn't short this, Alfred. Hopefully, you didn't short this. Playing or rooting for the Nasdaq Bears. They're a losing team. 234. We do have two 15-minute imbalances here on the Nasdaq from that big drop. We'll see if the market respects it. We'll see if the market respects this area. The market will literally have to drop 100 points. $260. 240. That's nearly 20 points. Mm. Okay. Okay. Mm. I just want to remind everybody where I took profits at on my where I took profits at. I took profits right here. I took profits right there. Somewhere in that area right there. After catching literally the bottom of this move, the bottom of this leg, I take profits right there. Hmm. Damn, look at all the metals selling off, or supposedly. We're seeing a lot of selling in the metals. I wonder if gold is. Okay, never mind. The Take Strike is saying that at least people are trying to sell gold and silver, but we're not seeing that reflected in the price on gold futures. So I wonder what happens here. Does the market continue to trend here? Is that what we see? Okay. Is that what we continue to see here? And interestingly enough, We got the market somewhat rejecting from the 50% of that bearish imbalance. But I'm not shorting this. I'm not going to short into 3 bullish engulfing candles here. You have 3 15-minute candles that are where the bodies are opening towards the top of the previous candle. I wouldn't short this. You can get lucky, but I wouldn't short that. 3 bullish engulfing candles. You got 1 red candle and a sea of green. You just have to wait for the bears to commit and show that that's what they want to do here. And the bulls, they take profits. And then you trade that rotation. You don't want to actually get in front of this damn thing. It's like you have a bus, a super bus truck rolling downhill, and you're standing in front of it, making an attempt to stop it. We all know how that will end. And it'll be the same situation if you were to try to get in front of this thing. Yeah, that's not gonna work for me. I don't like locked doors.
Connection lost.
But so far we're seeing that reaction at the 50% of that balance. We're seeing the market sell off about 20 points from that area. So the bears are trying. They are trying to sell into this imbalance, but bears, you're just gonna have to show me that you really want this, and you won't become liquidity. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, probably like 149. 149, 112. So we got a new 15-minute candle that just opened up. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that the bears are probably going to get stopped out here. All that selling, and so far the market's it is only pushed down 30 points. Yeah, it's highly likely that this thing's gonna pop right back up. Looks like it is on the 21 EMA on the 1 minute though. $119. Probably like in the middle somewhere. Yeah, it's not ever worth it. Like a trade like this would be a gamble and it'd be super risky. I mean, it's highly likely to still work, but it's still a gamble. Uh, hope it can be like that. That's interesting. That's even lower. It's even lower. Yeah, this thing is probably gonna push higher. It's like the Nasdaq is using the James Harden technique where it's lulling everybody to sleep right now. The Bulls don't know, and the Bears don't know right now. What's going to happen? You know what I'm more surprised of? I'm surprised that we didn't get a... Oh shit, I think we did. It's like, I'm surprised we didn't get an inside candle. We did get an inside candle. On the 15-minute. We did. Oh man. We did get an inside candle. Okay. We did get an inside candle break. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that this weekend. I got a very interesting idea. I'm gonna have to tell Tony. Last night he brought up something that I popped up a really good idea. That's gonna be my project for this weekend. It's gonna be my project for this weekend. I guess that's something I need to. Nah, I wasn't able to. I had an opportunity to do it as always. I didn't take it though. I talked myself out of it. I talked myself out of it all the way down here though. Talked myself out of that pump when price was down here. Uh, we also had the market break an inside bar candle, a 15-minute inside bar. And it followed our plan to the T. You have the inside bar. You don't take the first attempt as a trap. You wait for the pullback to the EMAs, and then you take the break of the inside bar. And I would have gotten a profit target hit if I took it right here. Yeah. I just have to I just have to realize that this is the Nasdaq. This is the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq kind of plays by a different sort. It's a trending market. Sometimes it ranges, sometimes you'll get the pullback, but for the most part, if you kind of trade it as it trends and don't ever trust bearish price action, you'll win. So it looks like the market disregarded this 15-minute imbalance and is now going for this 15-minute imbalance right here. We'll see. We'll see if the market respects this one. It didn't respect the other one. We didn't see the market respect this one. It tried to, but the market just used the bears that were shorting here as food. So we'll see if they respect this one. Well, that's something else that I want to start to begin to explore. Like I said, with these funded accounts, I'm just looking for base hits. But it would be nice to catch a move like this in its entirety in a funded account. This move right here could have easily been, how many points? So at the current high of 270, I'm just going to use that as an example. Our entry was damn near at the bottom. Our entry was 29. 92275. So this was a 347 point move on 2 contracts with my 3 micro contracts. This entire move I would be up like $2,000 in this entire move right here. $2,000. And then I copy traded that, so I would have been up $4,000 on the day. But I'm going to look for ways to try to identify days like when we get trends like this, All right, guys. I'm out of time for this session. I do appreciate everybody that joined me this morning. We'll definitely come back later on tonight, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody, and keep on jabbing.